So you were thinking of booking Sanctuary Cap Cana, or maybe you have already booked and looking for some more information. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about the food, drinks, and nightlife at Sanctuary Cap Cana. And in case you haven't seen it yet, we actually do a complete, honest review of this resort on our channel, so make sure you check that out as well. So let's start with the food. And they have so many different options. I'm going to talk about one really cool option at the end that we loved. But it is your typical all-inclusive resort where it has some buffet options, a la carte, and room service. So first, I need to be upfront with you, and that is I am not a foodie. So I always like to give that disclosure whenever I'm talking about the food, because my perspective might be different from yours, especially if you are an absolute food lover. I may say something that is good and you might think that it's not. With that being said, in the full review, we did give the food an 8 out of 10. Let's start with breakfast, and maybe one of the downsides of this resort was that there were not a lot of options for breakfast. So you could either go to the buffet, which was Casa Bella, or you could do room service. Now for me, those are perfect options. I don't really like the a la carte breakfast, but if it's something that you like, unless I missed it, they do not have an a la carte breakfast option here. The buffet really did have everything and anything that you would want. It even had a salad bar in the morning, which is my favorite. The made to order items, international dishes, pastries. So I don't think that you would miss that a la carte option. We were staying in the castle section, which we absolutely love. So one morning we did get room service and ate outside and had a beautiful view. My only suggestion for that would be to order it the night before, like schedule it, because it does take a pretty long time to get there. The castle's kind of far and they're busy in the morning, and that's really typical at any all-inclusive resort. The room service can take a while, so just schedule that the night before. Now it's on to lunch, and the same place where they have the breakfast buffet, Casa Bella, they also have the lunch buffet, which was equally as good. Again, you can eat inside, you can eat outside, lots of different options. But if you don't feel like a buffet for lunch, they do have an a la carte option, which is the Blue Marlin. And the Blue Marlin is one of the many reasons why I chose this resort, because when I'm looking for an all-inclusive resort, I really want a restaurant that's on the water. And this one wasn't just on the water, actually went out on the water, and the views were stunning. So it did not disappoint. It is a seafood restaurant, so all the dishes are seafood, and they were really good, and the service was amazing as well. And lastly, another great option for lunch is the beachside grill, and it's located right next to the beach. You can get burgers, tacos, wings, fries, a made to order, and you can sit at your beach chairs, or they have little tables there, or you can have your waiters come bring it to you if you're the type of person that doesn't like to get up from the beach and the pool to have lunch. Now on to dinner, and on the website it does say that the Blue Marlin also serves dinner. It did not serve dinner when we were there. So that might have been because it was in the beginning of the week and the resort was at lower capacity. And I know sometimes resorts do that. They close food options when they're at lower capacity. It also says on the website that Casa Bella buffet was open for dinner, which was not when we were there. So for dinner, we had 3 different a la carte options. You do need reservations for all of the a la carte restaurants, which you can make with your butler, or if you don't have a butler, a concierge, or at the front desk when you check in. We only made it to 2 out of the 3 a la carte restaurants because we love their other option that I haven't told you about yet so much that we preferred it over the a la carte restaurants. So we went to Wok, which is their sushi / hibachi restaurant. We opted for the hibachi side. We're not big sushi eaters, but you can dine inside the restaurant and do an a la carte sushi meal. So it was a very typical hibachi experience at an all-inclusive resort, a lot of fun, and the food was great. And then we also went to Capriccio, which is their Italian restaurant, and really I think the best restaurant at this resort. And the food was amazing, very fresh. The service was great as well. We had Alex, so I would definitely recommend trying this restaurant. But one of my favorite things about this resort, and I haven't seen this yet at any other resort, was the Sanctuary Town. And it's located in the middle of the resort. It is open to the public. It's comprised of, I think, 5 different restaurants, and 4 of them are included in your stay. We did have reservations at the steakhouse one night, but we're not big steak eaters, and we did hear from some of the other guests that it wasn't the best restaurant. So we decided to go into the sanctuary town and have pizza because that's one of my favorite foods. And I'm so glad I did because the pizza was amazing. They make it to order right there. They have the brick oven. It's in a real casual setting. You sit outside. And they also have a burger house, a sushi place, and a sweet house for desserts. The only restaurant that was not included that was in the sanctuary town was the Spanish restaurant. So that's always an option too, especially if you're staying for an extended period of time and just want something different. But I just loved having that option just because of my own personal, eating preferences. And it's definitely something I haven't seen yet at a resort, but I think it's an amazing idea. Another plus about this resort was the coffee shop in the lobby of the main building, and it's open from morning until evening. They have amazing coffee. You can get espresso drinks there as well, and they also have pastries, and the staff was very friendly. And it was on to the drinks and the cocktails. Another plus about this resort is that there are not a lack of bars at this resort. They are everywhere pretty much that you look. They have an amazing swim up bar, so I know that's a requirement for a lot of people, which is kind of like the main action pool. They have a beach bar, they have a lobby bar, they have a bar in every single restaurant, and they also have a special bar in the castle section. And they had mostly top shelf liquor. Now, I only drink usually vodka or tequila, and they had the exact vodka that I drink, which is Absolute Grapefruit. And I've only seen that at one other resort ever. So that was a pleasant surprise. And then they didn't have Patron, but they had Don Julio. But literally almost any other liquor that you could think of. They can make almost any cocktail that you want. Presidente beer is the beer of the Dominican Republic. So that's what they serve mostly, but they had a lot of different selection of beers. And the bartenders are very professional and very experienced. So they can make almost any drink that you want. So it was an amazing experience when it came to the bars and the cocktails. They also have poolside service and beachside service. You never have to wait long for a drink. They have a ton of waiters and waitresses going around. My only suggestion would be to bring those insulated cups or mugs or buy one when you get there because, again, it's really hot and humid and the ice melts in seconds. Or if you have a frozen drink, it's going to be liquid. Lastly, let's talk about nightlife. And that was one of the downsides for me of this resort because there was not a ton of nightlife. Now, I do have to say, we traveled from Sunday through Wednesday, and they did say on the weekends it's a lot more livelier. So Sunday night they had karaoke. Of course, I'm all in for that. They had a DJ, and there were a lot of people dancing. They had some entertainment as well. But the next two nights, they had DJs, but nobody was there. So I guess it's not entirely their fault. If people were to come and be dancing and partying, they would have stayed as long as people wanted to. But it's just not that type of resort. It's more of a lower key, a lower vibe. So if you're looking for a resort with a lot of nightlife, this may not be the resort for you. With that being said, there is the option to go into downtown Punta Cana, which we did one night. And it was actually our first time doing that. Now we go into the hotel zone in Cancun, but we've never done it in Punta Cana. So we decided to try it to see if it was safe. And we absolutely loved it. And we definitely think it's a great option. So I would still go back to this resort, even though there's a lack of nightlife, because I know all I need to do is arrange a ride into the downtown area, which is about 30 minutes away. And I will put in the description the company we use, which was Diamond Tours. Now, if you like activities during the day, they do have quite a few activities that you can participate in. We saw them doing aerobics by the pool and volleyball. And they have an app, a link to an app, which I will put in the description so you kind of check out what their activities are because they're all listed there. But they do not have water sports because of how the beach is laid out. So I hope you found this brief overview of the food, drinks, and nightlife at the Sanctuary Cap Cana helpful. And make sure you check out the complete review and the other series of videos that we do on this resort. And I do answer all comments and questions. So if you do have a question or if you have something to add, please drop them below. We'd love to hear your feedback. And please like and subscribe and keep following our channel at 3 Days and Tres Noches. So we bring you honest reviews, travel tips, and information about all of the destinations that we go to. So we try to give you as much information as we can to avoid the mistakes that we've made so you can have an amazing stress-free vacation.
Cámara, acción.
3 days, 3 noches en Punta Cana. Yeah!